Blackmail on a Minecraft Anarchy server might sound ridiculous, but indeed, several members of the hackless Anarchy server Purity Vanilla, including myself, have been the targets of an in-game extortion scheme. This video will serve as a record of my personal experience and my investigation into its culprit. It all started with a DM on Discord from an account called BrokerOfBans. They laid out their cards immediately, listing a set of banned client mods they had evidence of me using, and demanding 250 netherite ingots for their silence. If you're curious, it was a couple of GUI mods that I hadn't realized weren't on the allow list, and a client-side chest sorter I used for quality of life. I knew immediately that I wasn't going to pay this guy. 250 ingots is a lot for me, and the most I'd get is a week-long ban given my clean record. However, I was still curious about how they managed to get the evidence. They refused to send it outright, instead offering to describe it to me, which would be very helpful later. After a bit of back and forth, I flew to their specified coordinates under the guise of paying them, took a screenshot of their in-game name, and told them to fuck off, ending my direct interaction with the broker. My first lead was the Discord account itself, as we shared two Discord servers together, the official Purity Vanilla server and the unofficial Purity Vanilla trade server. The official server contained a public declaration to another player announcing that they had been reported after failing to pay, which let me know that my experience was part of a larger operation. The trade server, on the other hand, held one very interesting message in which a user referred to the broker as Zad. The user clarified that they were guessing their identity at the time, but this planted the seed of suspicion in my mind as to the identity of the broker, a seed that would blow this case wide open. You see, about a month before this whole ordeal, I had an unassuming interaction with one of the largest shops on the server, Velocity Trading. I exchanged a few elytras for some supplies, using a barrel as a kind of dead drop, and sending screenshots to confirm its position and contents. What I realized when I saw those messages in the trading server was that those screenshots were far and away the most likely candidate for the broker's compromising material, as the name of the specific player I traded with was Zadical, or Zad for short. After digging the screenshots out of my recycling bin, I compared them to the broker's description of their evidence, and the two matched perfectly. I now knew that Vel was somehow related to all this, but whether they were running the scheme themselves was unknown. I still needed direct proof, and the only way to do that would be to access the Discord ticket in which I had made the original trade, which had long since closed. I could still see what I had sent, however, by sending a personal data request to Discord themselves. After waiting 3 weeks to receive my data, all my suspicions were confirmed, and more. To start with, I found Discord attachment links to two images that matched the ones in my recycling bin, in an old ticket on the Velocity Trading server, confirming the connection. I still didn't know whether Velocity themselves was behind everything until I looked at the channel name. Ticket channels in their trading server come in the form #ticket, followed by some 4-digit number. This channel, however, had been renamed to #LOL4, indicating that it had been intentionally recategorized. This was the final nail in the coffin that convinced me of Vel's guilt, and concluded my investigation after about a month. To be honest, none of this is that serious. Velocity didn't really break any rules, so who cares? Velocity cares. Remember when I said that I took a screenshot of the broker's IGN? I never mentioned that lead because it led nowhere. The account was named Adjust, and it had joined the server for the first time on the very day I was blackmailed, with no connection to any established players on the server. Now that we know Velocity was behind it, this means that they used an entirely new alt account just for this purpose, to hide the connection. I'm making this video because Velocity refused my counter blackmail, and because this is a pretty interesting story, I think. That's all for today, though. If you're on Purity, shop at the Bunker Bazaar because they're faster than Vel and probably won't blackmail you.